Hi everyone, Ian here from QTips, and this is going to be a very brief tutorial. A client recently asked me how they can improve the look of their heat map. So I'm going to show you how you can style your heat map just to make it a little bit easier to read and to see information beyond or behind your heat map. So I've got a point file for the South African Weather Services here, and I'm just going to use this as my heat map layer. So first of all, I want to turn on my layer styling panel so you can select the layer you want to work on and then turn on your layer styling. And if you don't see it, you can right click and then choose it from panel. So right click up here on your toolbar and then choose the layer styling panel. And then for the layer selected, which is the South African Weather Service, we're going to select single symbol and then go and choose heat map. Now you can also create heat maps from your algorithms in the Saga tools and in the other processing tools. And in those tools, you are also able to calculate the optimum radius for your heat map. I think for this example, what we'll do is we'll just change this to map units, and I think change it to 50,000 meters. And we could change it maybe to 75,000. I think that's one too many. 75,000 meters. Okay, so that's the optimum radius. Now that is not necessarily the optimum radius based on what I've got here. And your optimum radius is calculated by your the number of sample points that you have, and then also the standard distance between those two. But that's something you can calculate on your own, and there's a little calculation to do it. It looks like this here. Okay, so optimum radius is a function of the sample size and then the standard distance. And you can calculate that from Saga tools. But that's not the scope of this tutorial. I just want to show you how to calculate, or sorry, not to calculate, to style your heat map so that it looks cool. Okay, so I'm going to first of all change my rendering quality right up to, let's go to the best. And then I'm going to change the color of the heat ramp. So I'm going to right click and choose a different color. So we'll go to all color ramps and then let's choose reds and red, yellow, green. And then we'll swap it. So I'm going to right click on it again and say invert. So now that the higher concentration areas are red and then the greens are lower concentration. But now look, we can't see through the heat map and we can't see the information below it. So what you can do is just right click on your heat color ramp again and then go to edit color ramp. And then all you do is you select your first stopping point and change the opacity to 25, let's say 25%. And then a second stopping point, change that opacity to, let's say, 75. The third one, maybe change that to 90. And then let's say OK and see what that looks like. Okay, so now we can sort of see through the heat ramp or the heat map. Obviously, where the areas are high concentrations, we can't see through. But just by editing the color ramp stopping points and the opacity of those stopping points, you're able to adjust your heat ramp or your heat map to look a bit better and suit your needs, whatever they may be. Okay, so that's it. Good luck with that. Hope it goes well. Cheers.